the Mazda 3 with a few little tiny updates, mostly software. The infotainment system and an assistant system, which you'll see will give me a couple of problems later on. Whenever I sit in a Mazda and I drive a Mazda, I think to myself, this is really very, very good. Everything feels so nice. It's comfortable. It feels well put together. They don't go overboard with useless stuff like capacitive things. You still have a rotary knob over here in the center console. You've got physical buttons for everything on the steering wheel, for climate controls, for the infotainment stuff. It's brilliant. It drives nice. It sounds nice. It's got lovely engines. Maybe not the most powerful, but lovely anyway. The steering wheel is excellent. The seats are quite comfortable. It's a very good looking car. Very good looking color as well. So Mazda is really just taking their formula and then over different models and generations just making slight adjustments to make it better and better and better. Well, Mazda has put in a system, as far as I can tell, this is new, has put in a system which I would like to call, or I'd like to call it, put me out of my misery system. And I don't mean the car, I mean the driver. Because when this system goes off, you do wish you'd be able to put yourself out of your misery. Let me explain. You see, the problem is, Mazda is really, really nice, comfortable, quiet, and refined. But they put in a system where if you go over the speed limit that the car thinks this road has, well, it's going to let you know. And by letting you know, I mean it's going to be like an impetuous child throwing a tantrum. So let me demonstrate. I'm driving 53 kilometers an hour. I'm approaching a town where the speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour, and the system is going to let me know that. Okay, it's 50 here, but it's still saying 90. That's another problem we have to take into account here. The system will often make a mistake where, let's go right here, where it will think a speed limit is something it's not, and I know for a fact what the speed limit is because I drive these roads, and also I know the rules of the road. So oftentimes when the speed limit should have ended because there was an intersection or whatever, the car will still think the speed limit is there. And now it's not doing it. We're still in a town and it's saying it's 90, which it's not, it's 50. Why aren't you doing it now? You're just spiting me because I'm criticizing you. Stop it. All right, it should do it here. I'm approaching a town from 90 to 50. There we go. It's going to be 50 and I'm going 52, 53, 50, 52, 51. Okay, now I went down to 50. But it would be doing that same blam, blam, blam jingle over and over, and then it would stop and you'd think, oh, thank you, it's finally done. No, it's gonna come back and it's gonna do it again. And especially if the speed limit slightly changes and you're still going like 2 kilometers over the speed limit. The funniest thing happened was when I was on the motorway doing 130 or slightly over, and the system said, oh, you know, you were doing over, we're all gonna die, blim, blim, blim. And I slowed down to 130 just to shut it up. And then I set my limiter to 130 kilometers per hour to make it stop. And the system itself accelerated to 130 and then to 131 and started bonging at me. I was like, what do you want? I set the limit. Stop, please. Just let it end. Wait. Hold on. There's a problem here. The entire video, pretty much, that you'll see me ranting in, I made a tiny itsy bitsy mistake. This isn't actually Mazda's fault. Yes, the bonging is there, but what I didn't realize at the time was that this is actually a European Union legislation, and that was the first car I've been driving that has this system, because every new car now has to have the system which alerts you if you're going over the speed limit, even if it's just 1 kilometer an hour over. So yeah, just bear in mind, everything that I'm ranting about, most of it is not actually Mazda's fault. And I swear, I know I'm making this entire video about this stupid bong, but it is such an infuriating thing. You'd think I'm being stupid, I'm being nitpicky, but try and drive it without a speed limiter, and even with a speed limiter, it'll sometimes let you slightly over accelerate, for example, especially if you're going downhill, and it just aggressively starts bonging at you, even at 51 if the speed limit is 50. And I kid you not, it just gets on your nerves so much, especially because it's such a contrast to this car, because it's otherwise so nice and comfortable. And that brings me to another thing. Modern cars, they're starting to have way too much bonging, blinking, warnings, this, that. Like, I'm still old school. I come from the era when cars were, well, electronic and mechanical. You had analog instrument clusters, no infotainment, nothing. You had ESC and ABS, but that was pretty much it. And you know, it was perfect. But now there's so much bonging. You're like, what? What's going on? Oh, it's moving my steering wheel because it thought the path was going to the left or something. Oh, it's bonging because I'm 1 kilometer an hour over the speed limit. Oh, it's bonging because I don't know what. It thought, oh yeah, I almost had a heart attack yesterday when I was reversing towards my garage, and I like to reverse it pretty much, you know, this close to the back of it, and the car suddenly braked fully, emergency braking, bong, 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 like, oh my god, I hit something. But no, it just thought I was approaching the garage doors a little too fast. It's just, there's too much of it. BMW a while ago, many years ago, actually fully braked on the highway because we were approaching cars. We were going to brake, but the car thought we weren't braking fast enough. If you're approaching a very windy road and there's a house in front of you, you know, you start getting nervous with these cars because you don't know, oh my god, is the system going to think we're going to crash? Is it going to suddenly brake? Is the big truck behind me going to actually hit me because of it? There's a dog on the road. What are you doing, dog? Get some ESC and ABS and RBS and BB something, I don't know. Anyway, I was hoping Mazda would steer away from this stuff, but it's here, it's bonging, and it's annoying. And I kid you not, I swear, I went through all the menus and I could not find a setting to shut this damn thing up. I couldn't find a setting.